We have with us Mr. Joe Rossiter. He's the Associate Director of International Partnership and Recruitment from Leeds Beckett University. It's our students' favorite university, I would say, over the period of years. And everyone just loves being at the university as well as they enjoy the city a lot. Joe is an alumni of Leeds Beckett University, specifically from the Carnegie School of Sports. So yes, he's very passionate about sports and especially the Leeds FC, I would say. Yeah, so over to you, Joe.
Thanks, Shalini. And I hope you don't say that to all universities when you introduce them that they're your favourite. I'm hoping it is that Leeds Beckett is your favourite.
Leeds Beckett is our favourite, and I think the maximum number of our students go to Leeds Beckett. Yeah, so
we have a great number of ISMS students coming to Leeds Beckett, and they're always fantastic. If everybody's happy, I will just share my screen. Shalini, if you can just let me know when you can. I've just got a couple of presentations. I'm going to go through. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Great. Okay, good. So good afternoon, everybody. It's morning here in the UK, but good afternoon to you in India. I hope you're well. I've just been saying to Shalini, it's been a very strange period of time, a very difficult period of time for a number of people. So I do wish you all very good health for yourself and for your loved ones. It was 2 years ago now. I was at ISMS. I've got a picture later in the slides where I came to visit the campus just as it was being built. So there was no students there. We were very lucky to have a little tour, interrupt the builders as they were in the middle of developing some of the campus. So I'm very much looking forward to getting back in the not too distant future and seeing you all and seeing the campus in its full glory. So my name's Joe Rossiter. So I, as Shalini very kindly said, so I head the International Recruitment and Partnerships team here at Leeds Beckett University. Shalini mentioned that I'm a Leeds United fan, so it's just really to try and familiarise yourself with the city of Leeds if you hadn't already heard of Leeds. So Leeds is a very popular city in the UK. We're actually the third largest city in the UK, although often people haven't heard of Leeds because our football team was never in the Premier League, and so students had often heard of Manchester and Liverpool, of course, and then of course London as our capital city. But Leeds never was on students' minds because our football team wasn't in the Premier League. So for the past season, we have been in the Premier League, and we had a terrible start against Manchester United at the weekend, but we will move on from that. So Leeds does have a team in the Premier League. So hopefully, as you start to become affiliated with Leeds, that you can keep an eye on those results and hopefully cheer them to victory. Just a couple of other faces you may recognise there. Both players were part of Yorkshire County Cricket at one point. So Yorkshire is the county which Leeds is in. So it's just to give you some familiarisation about the counties, links with India, and Leeds particularly, and Leeds Beckett has a strong history of activity in India over many years. So we love our interaction with students from India. We love partnering with ISMS. It's a really valuable strategic partnership for the university, but more so because of our mutual desire to provide the education for students and work in partnership to make that possible within particular areas. So hopefully, even if you're the youngsters on the call don't recognise some of those faces, I'm sure your parents will. So just a little introduction to Leeds Beckett. So we're very proud at Leeds Beckett that actually we're considered a modern university. So we became Leeds Metropolitan University was our previous name. We became Leeds Metropolitan in 1992. Which in university terms in the UK is very modern, but we've been as an educator for a number of years. So over 100 years we've been providing education, and this is an old picture of our very famous James Graham building, which when I start to go through the slides, you'll see a much more modern, colourful picture of this building. But we have been providing education at Leeds Beckett for a number of years, and so we are, whilst we're proud of our modern our modern characteristics, we're also very proud of our history as well. So history is over 200 years of history of providing education at the university, and we started our teaching in 1824. So universities in the UK are often judged on their on how modern they are, but also how experienced they are, and we're very fortunate to satisfy both those categories. There's a more modern day picture of the same building, with nice blue skies. We like to show as many pictures of nice blue skies, making the weather look very sunny. Lots of students out on, that's what we call the acre. There's a patch of grass outside the main building there. We're split over two campuses. So this picture is just a snapshot of the Headley Campus. As you can see there, very historic, very old buildings, a beautiful campus set in 100 acres of land. So it's always a fantastic place that students like to spend time. So whether you're studying on the Headley campus, so if you came to study sport with us, this is where the campus that you'll be based. But if you're studying business, you're actually in the city centre, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. But you have access to both these campuses. So even if you want to play sport from a participation point of view, or just spend some time on this campus, it's very close to the city centre. And so as a student of Leeds Beckett, you have access to both campuses. So like I said to you before, that history that we have as an institution is a really nice campus feel to be on this campus, but also then you can be in the city centre in and amongst the vibrant activity that is around Leeds city centre. So an aerial shot of the city campus. It's actually an older picture now, because there is if you can see my mouse cursor here, there's a patch of land here which is actually now being developed on, and that's our brand new £85 million Leeds School of Arts. So whilst you won't necessarily be studying within that school, we've got a brand new building there which has again facilities which you can access: performance labs, music labs. There's a cinema in there now. So when you have a look at the university and you start to look at the website, just have a look at some of the facilities that we've now developed. We've invested £200 million UK over the past 5 years and going on for the next 5 years in our estate, so in our buildings, to make sure that, yes, whilst we're proud of our history, we need to make sure that our facilities are up to date for students to use going into the world that is today. So right in the city centre. So if you come further south from this picture, you're really in the heart of the city and not too far from the train station. So whilst I mentioned before, Leeds is the third largest city in the UK, the city centre itself is actually really small. So certainly when you compare it with the likes of Pune and other Indian cities, we're nowhere near that scale. And so as a student in Leeds, that ability to just be so many students packed into a relatively small place is creates a fantastic atmosphere, really vibrant students from all over the world. So it really, really is a fantastic place to be a student. Just to confirm to you that I have been to ISMS before. You can see the picture on the left there is myself and Shalini Ma'am just outside the opening, outside the entrance of the building. And you can see the ladder and the kind of construction work that was going on in the background. But it was fantastic for me to be able to come and visit. And then here we are with colleagues from ISMS just updating our agreement. We've had an agreement for a number of years, but this was just bringing it up to date with the courses that we now offer in partnership. So it was fantastic to visit ISMS, and as I say, I'm looking forward to being there again. I look a lot younger in that picture as well. I realize every time I look at the picture, I think, my goodness, I'm getting old. Anyway, so I'm sure you're already aware. If you're not, then here's an update for you. So we're split up. Our partnership really is with the university, of course, but we're focusing on two schools at the moment. So the Leeds Business School, where you are exempt from credits from the MBA. And I think my colleague who leads the course director of the MBA is going to be joining you later this morning, which is great. So he'll give you more details about that. And then the other school that you can join is the Carnegie School of Sport. I'm going to try and talk a little bit more about the Carnegie School of Sport. It's not to promote that any more than the business school, but it's because Gary will be coming to talk specifically about the business school. And so I don't want to repeat anything that he will already cover in his session. So I will talk a little bit about the Carnegie School of Sport. There's a lot of good things to talk about within the School of Sport, but also I'm a graduate from that school as well. So it is quite close to my heart as well. But there are three master's programs there again, that you have the option to join from your study at ISMS. So, really good spread of courses there, spread of programs for you to decide what you want to go on to study. So Leeds Business School, as I say, I'll just touch briefly on that. So this is the Rose Bowl. So if I just go back to the city centre view, you can see this is the Rose Bowl here. So this is the aerial view. And then this is just more of the front of the building. So this is the Leeds Business School. So home to all our business programs. And it's great that we have a business school in the city centre of Leeds, because it's right in the middle of the business, the industry, lots of links to industry, lots of companies using the building. So again, whilst we work, one of the key things about the university is its partnerships. And so we have partnerships with a number of companies and organizations. And what that creates is it means that the courses are developed in industry. So they're very practical, they're very current. And I think that's really important. If you're studying an academic program, but it's very much steeped in textbooks and journal articles and lots of assignments, I'm not sure it's the best preparation for you to then graduate and go into the business world, wherever that may be in the world. And so what we make sure is that all our courses are up to date, and having a business school right in the heart of the city helps us with that, because it does give us that exposure to all local industries as well. So that's just to start to familiarize yourselves with the buildings that we offer. You can see that building very modern compared with the Headley Campus, which had the more historic building. This is our Headley Campus. And so what you can see here, this is actually our brand new School of Sport. So it opened last year, but unfortunately due to the pandemic, it didn't have many students going into it at all last year, only towards the end of last academic year. So in the more recent months have we had students really going onto campus in that building. But so ultimately, it is a brand new building again, and we're very excited to have students going into it this year. So imagine the Headley Campus, which is the old historic building. So if we look at this, the top right picture here, this is just the top end of the roof of the James Graham building, which I showed you at the beginning, which is kind of the iconic building on the campus. We've now developed this huge home to the Carnegie School of Sport. And you can see this long tunnel-like structure on the top. This is actually an indoor athletics track. So there's a 60-meter athletics track in there. So a really kind of unique design for the building, but it really brings to life the sports facilities that are on the campus. So you can imagine, a very historic campus suddenly with this brand new state-of-the-art sports facility. It really does add a different perspective to the campus and really provides a really good home for our students in the Carnegie School of Sport. So for those of you who may be interested in pursuing a master's in sport, when you come and join us, this would be where you would be based. So a fantastic facility for you to be in. We've got a dedicated team in India. If you haven't met them already, then I'm sure you will over the coming weeks and months as we engage with you throughout your study at ISMS. It's really important to us that you don't just hear from me now and that's it, and we'll see you hopefully when you come to Leeds. It's really important that you're engaging with our staff based in India to support you with your study, both at ISMS, but also in preparations for maybe coming to the study in the UK. I just heard that it's your third day of induction, so I'm sure you've been inundated with information this week, and you will continue for the rest of the week, and then you just get into grips with your studies. And there's lots going on in the world, and trying to study online with your own family circumstances and all the different considerations that everybody's had to make at the moment. It's really important that you have the support there, and ISMS colleagues are there to provide you, and they'll work very close with our team based in India and based in the UK as well, to make sure that you support throughout there. So there's just some faces that you may recognize over the coming year as we engage with you. And I just want to change presentations, if I may, just because we have I just want a little bit more specific about the School of Sport. As I say, Gary will be coming to talk to you more about the business school, but I just talked to you briefly. Can you see the change of screen there to the slide about Leeds?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Okay. So just moving this out of the way. So I talked to you already around Leeds, and I'm sure you can use Google to have a look at some images, but just to show you there, that's the city centre. I don't think sometimes the campus aerial shot gives you the full view of the city. So this is Leeds City Centre, and our campus, I'm just trying to think where it is located. It's behind these buildings, really, just in this section. Huge shopping centre in the middle of Leeds, and then this is down by what we would call the docks in Leeds. So, fantastic city, lots going on. Whatever your interest, be it from sport, music, drama, art, whatever it may be, Leeds has something for you. It really is a very vibrant city to be a part of. I talked to you about Leeds Beckett already. 23,000 students from 143 countries. That's big in terms of UK institutions. We are one of the largest institutions in terms of student numbers, and it's because of the range of courses that we have at both undergraduate and postgraduate level, and the size of our estate. So both the Headley and City campus means that we've got a huge number of students, and what we've missed most, which I'm sure you have over the past year, is that interaction between students. As much as online delivery enables you to continue with your studies, I don't think you get that same social interaction outside of the classroom, which is such an important part of your study in the UK, engaging with students from all over the world, all different interests, very diverse. It's such a fantastic, unique experience as part of being in the UK, and one that you should really grab with both hands when it is in fact you do come. Whichever institution you choose to go and study at, you must make the most of that experience outside of the classroom. That's really important. In terms of the sports school, so just an image here. This is one of the earliest pictures of the university. So this is when we taught specifically sport. This was Carnegie. We were called Carnegie College. So one of the first names of the university was Carnegie College, and it was a specialism in sport and teacher education. And this patch of grass that these students are throwing the javelin on is the same patch of grass that this building is now built on. So you can see the transition between the time, but still a heavy focus on sport within the institution. So it is one of our flagship areas. So a really fantastic place to be. And a couple of rankings just to talk to you about, just in case you were interested. We've just been awarded 5 stars for the QS rating. The National Student Survey results have just gone up, and the School of Sport has just reached the top 100 in the Shanghai World Rankings as well. So as a school, we are really, really proud of its heritage, but also how prestigious it is and how well thought of it is in the modern world of sports education. Some of the facilities in there, this picture in the middle here, that's the indoor track I mentioned, which is this orange looking building on the top. Again, no other university has that kind of facility. Brand new lecture theatres here, this picture at the bottom. I'm sure you've all seen lecture theatres before, but lots of interactive software and things on the station, which really mean that in terms of lectures and engagement between students and staff, it really is a very modern and unique place to be. And then obviously we're kitted out with all the state-of-the-art gym equipment and things like that, as you would expect from a building such as this. Partnerships, I mentioned, was really important to us. So like our partnership with ISMS is hugely important. Each of the schools have partnerships with local industries and recognised bodies to really add authenticity to the student experience. So to make sure that you're not just coming to study in the UK and it being you're stuck in a classroom with your head in a book. Whilst that's of course important, it's really important from the academic part of your study, you've got to engage outside of that, because when you go and seek employment, yes, they will be interested in what it is you've studied and how you've got on in terms of your degree, whether it's been a first or a 2-1 or a 2-2, as we would grade them, classify them here in the UK. They're also interested more in what you've done as part of your degree. What have you done outside of your degree that sets you apart from other people? And through partnership with these organisations, that provides you the opportunity. It provides you the opportunity for volunteering. It provides you the opportunity for business consultancy projects. All sorts of opportunities are provided through these partnerships. So like I talked to you about making sure you make the most of your experience outside of the classroom, you can also make the most of these partnerships that the various schools have. And these are some specific ones for sports. So you may recognise the bigger names there, like Yorkshire County Cricket Club. This is the Leeds United badge, Leeds Rhinos. British Athletics is a big one, and any of you who followed the Olympics, it was fantastic to see India win gold in the javelin. The GB medals that the GB team did, I think it was 10 of our students actually won an Olympic medal, which was fantastic. So again, it shows you our prestige in terms of sport. I think it was only Bath in the UK that had more students who had got medals at the Olympics. So fantastic achievement. We're really proud of our sports students. Lots of news on there, and the only reason for showing you this slide is just to encourage you, while throughout your time at ISMS, you'll be very, very busy. But when you're looking at which university you might want to go to, look at the facilities like I've showed you, watch the videos, we've loads of videos and things like that, but have a look at some of the news stories, see what's going on in the university. It's really important that you understand what the university is about, other than providing education. I think that's really, really important. Lots of research areas. So, whilst we are a modern university focusing on the vocational elements of courses and making sure that all students are ready for employment, we do have a number of strong research areas, and these ones are specifically in the School of Sport. And again, by having this level of research and this quality of academic, it really does provide you with experts in the fields that you're wanting to study. So, teachers who are active in the industry and engaged with these partners and working with GB athletes and working with veterans and all these different really kind of exciting projects they have, they're also teaching you and researching as well. So they're making sure that they're up to date, and all the education they're providing is for the real world, and making sure it's current. So that's a really important consideration as well. Professional accreditations, both the business school and the School of Sport are professionally accredited across a number of different organizations. And you can see here, this is School of Sport. When you get professional recognition, it's just another highlight to you as students that the course is preparing you for industry. It's professionally accredited, which means it's done in partnership with professional bodies ready for students to go and gain employment. And so that's really all I wanted to show you there today. You can see quite an interesting picture of the progression of the university. That building's been in existence for nearly 200 years. So whilst we are very proud of our modern vocational elements to our courses and our preparations for you in employment, we are also very proud of our history as well. And so it really, really is a fantastic, diverse place for you to come and be a student. So that's all I wanted to say this morning. I realised that you're going to be inundated with information over the coming weeks, and this doesn't have to be the only time you engage with us. You've got our staff based in India, you've got colleagues at ISMS, and I'm more than happy for you to reach out to me and my team as well directly, and we can support you as much as we possibly can. So I'm just going to stop sharing, and Shalini, I don't know if we've got time for some questions, or whether we're going to wait till the end and then we can feed those back later. I just want to say thank you for being here this morning or this afternoon in India. I do wish you well with the start of your studies. I'm hoping that before you come to Leeds, I will see you first in India when we can come and visit ISMS in the not too distant future. So best of luck. Do reach out to us if you need anything, and fingers crossed we'll see you in Leeds soon.